Hello everyone, welcome back to another session with me. I am Sanyukta Saxena and we have been running this series on Zenbuttons, right? And today is the third session of the series. Hope you are enjoying the series. Thank you for all your comments and feedback. So today we will be drawing another Zen button. We'll be using different tangles, different color palette, but to start with it is the same exercise once again, right? So I'm just going to find the center point, right, and draw some circles. So you can do this exercise for almost all the tiles that we are going to be doing. We are going to do about 5 or 6 of them, right? So same thing, the center and a small orb here, or probably I'll start with a bigger orb today, right? So I'm starting with a slightly bigger orb today for the center, right? Not too big but not too small either. So as I mentioned before also, you can always do this exercise freehand, no hard and fast rules here. Again, a small little aura, pipe for the gold. Again, you can approximately take the same width, or even if you don't, it's fine. Draw another. Again, a pipe, one aura, right? And probably you can make two here, right? So don't bother about the width, that's okay. There is no hard and fast rule that the width have to be the same. Right? And then finally a thin aura like this. Right? So our groundwork is done. So let us now start with the center thing that we draw every time, yeah, which will be coming over the other tangles that we are going to draw in the concentric circles, yeah. So I'm just going to remove my markers now, and let us start with some Cubine, yeah. So I'm just going to take the center here and randomly draw some strands and add a square shape at the end, a somewhat square shape. Come down. So this is the crazy version of Cubine, right? So this one is going above, so you can always add another one where you don't cut lines, yeah, something like this. So probably one place it can go over, one place it can go under, whichever way you would like to draw. I'm saying under these lines, yeah, the gold lines that I'm going to do. Again, you can have one coming like this, right? And then this can go over probably like this. Yeah, probably one hidden one here going under. Yeah, so just drawing behind at places, drawing over at certain places. That's the only thing I'm doing here. Somewhere, some places crossing the lines, some places not crossing the line, right? So all are going up only, more or less, that's okay. small one here, hidden one. Yeah, right. And then I'm going to add one round here, something like this, and then add some lines with weight at the end, like this. Yeah. So you can always ink this space black, or we'll see if we want to add some other color. Right. So take your time and draw these lines around this C-shaped curve that you drew, adding a little weight at the end of the line. Right? I am now going to ink carefully. Probably it would be a better idea to pick up your O8. Where is my O8? Yeah. So you want these lines to be bold enough. So this is a crazy version of Cubine which Maria came up with. You can call it blossoming, you can call it crazy. There are no grids and they are just running in any direction. Right? So I think, yeah, these lines we'll have to erase. Now completing the Cubine, add a square inside and a line connecting. Add a square inside at any one of the corner, preferably this corner from where the center line is starting. Yeah. So take your time and carefully, right? And now let us add the next line of aura. Sorry. Yeah, so you have to be careful where to draw, where not to draw. Yeah. So second line for the gold border. So this will take a little concentration just for the part where to cross the line, where not to cross the line, because somewhere we are drawing under, somewhere we are going over, right? That's the only thing. Otherwise it's pretty straightforward. So concentric circles, simple string that goes in drawing any Zen button, and it looks beautiful when shaded. So again, as I mentioned previously also, you may not ink this string. since we are giving it a gold border, that's why I'm inking it. Otherwise you can very comfortably do without it also, right? So I'll just give the last border. So we are done with all the borders. Now time to erase the unwanted lines so that they do not create any confusion, right? So I'm just going to do away with what is not required so that I don't by mistake ink it. Yeah, I think we are done. Yeah, so now is the time for colors. So I'm going to go with little subtle colors today, right? So I'm starting with peach, right? Again a very cool looking color, not very bright, not very jazzy, subtle, light. This says pale orange. So this is a Sakura Koi brush pen, but if you have any other brand, that's okay. You can also use simple watercolor pencils or watercolor cakes, whatever you are comfortable with, right? So I'm more comfortable with pens and pencils, so I avoid brush, although this has a brush head but still easier to handle. So yeah, I think we are done with the peach. Yeah, so moving on to a little darker pink here. So as I mentioned earlier also, you can either completely use the brush pen to, just like a sketch pen, or you can add on two sides and then use your brush and blend it. I want it nice and bright here, so I'm almost using it as a sketch pen, but brush pens can be blended just like watercolors. Yeah, so adding pinks carefully. Don't enter your Cubine because you want it white. Little bit of erasing required here. Yeah, right, so just carefully leave your Cubine white, because we are generally in all our tiles that we have drawn till now leaving the centerpiece white and adding color to the rest. Yeah, small section here. Yeah, so we are done with the pink and a little purplish shade. This says rose red. Yeah, so I'm going to add this one now. Almost finishing with my coloring. Yeah, right, so adding the color is done. Now let us move a step further and tangle, right? So up to us what tangles we want to add. We know so many by now, right? So let us add a zigzag kind of grid here, something like this, going over, going under. right? So again, drawing behind, it will go over and then come down, and then probably meet here somewhere. Yeah, so whatever is visible, and then up to us. So I'm just going to add some tipples here and add a dot inside it. Simple tipples with a dot. Try and keep no distance, no spaces between your tipples. If there are a few, then just ink it in. Just squeeze them together. Nice and simple variation of tipple. Yeah, again I'm going to leave one space, do the same exercise here. You can keep all of the same size. If you want to vary the size, you can do that also. I'm more or less keeping them of the same size. You can see they need not be perfect orbs, perfect in shape or size. Right, so whatever little is visible, just carefully add. Yeah, and finally this section. Yeah, so we are done with adding the tipple. So the other section up to us, what do you want to add? So I'm just going to add some flux here. You can add any other tangle of your choice, entirely up to you. Few orbs here and there go well with flux. Right, so spaces are small, take your time. Yeah, so again very little visible here, so just a small touch. Again a small touch here, not much to draw. Yeah, that's about it. Right, so we are done with one section. Moving on to the next, going to divide it into sections and use a fragment called W7. Yeah, it will look similar to what we have drawn in the center, but not exactly. But yes, you will find similarities there. So it goes like this only, just the way we drew this section. Curved line wait at the end, curve line, wait at the end, curve line, wait at the end. Right? Simple fragment. Looks nice when arranged in different ways because it has the capability to form meta patterns. Right? So why? Because now if I start in the other direction, then you can see how the lines interconnect. Yeah. So simple fragment, looks nice. Again, I'll do the same exercise once again. Curve line, wait at end, curve line, wait at end. Yeah, again from the other side. Try connecting the lines. If you cannot, it's okay. No hard and fast rule. Just that when they are connected, you will have a different look for the pattern. If they are not, they will look different. That's the only thing. There is no rule that they have to be connected. Right? So I'll go on like this. You can also change the pattern halfway through if you want, right? So entirely up to you. There are so many fragments that you can choose from. So feel free to pick your own. Yeah. So I'll just continue. So almost finishing now, drawing my curved lines with the weight, interconnecting two of them, drawing in opposite direction to form a meta pattern. Right, so again going in the opposite, this will have some drawing behind, so right, again drawing behind, again drawing behind, so take your time carefully, insert the fragment in each of the section. Yeah, I think we are done. Right, so this is one. Now again you can divide this section also into sections. So this is a smaller ring, so choose a pattern which can do justice here. Probably simple printums will also look nice, any spiral or simple lines. Let us see what we want to do. Yeah, right. So now if you want, you can add a floral pattern or you can add any other pattern of your choice. Let us add stoic or probably flukes, one of them. Yeah, so I think this will look nice. Yeah, somewhat similar to Cubine, but not exactly, because we are not connecting the corners of the two squares. So Cubine is simple, connecting the ends of the square, the two squares, but here we are not doing that exercise. This is the tangle flukes. Again drawing behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as fits properly. Right, so I'm going to continue like this. So a quick mention of the tangles that we have used till now. This is a variation of Cubine. Cubine is a tangle by Zentangle headquarters. Again, this is Tipple. It is again a Zentangle original. This is Flux. This is again a Zentangle original. This is a fragment, that is W7, right? And this outer tangle is called Flux. It is again a Zentangle original, right? So I'm going to continue my flukes in the same way. You can also start from the outside. For example, you can also draw the auras first like this and then ink the inner section. That's okay, right? Whichever way you are comfortable. So almost finishing drawing my flukes here. A square at one corner and auras. Ink the square and then just add auras. And the last one. Yeah, right. So I think we are done with the tangling part. Let us now move on to shading, and then we'll lastly put the gold. Yeah. So again, center here and here. If you want, you can add a little pink here to add a nice contrast. Yeah. So just add some graphite at the edges. And here, don't blend too much. These are again going under, so you might want to highlight this place also, because they are going under but not here, right? Again, one side. Don't add too much. You want this to be white. Again, inside. One side of the Cubine. Two sides of the border or one section. Right? So this is again intersection, so you can add some graphite here wherever they are going over or under. You can add graphite, but don't add too much. right? So done with this section. Next section, there are not much overlaps, so it is simpler. Again, graphite on both sides, same exercise. Right, so add graphite on both sides of the third one also. Just skip the cubine, and finally this part. Yeah, we are done with adding the graphite. Now time to blend. So carefully blend only as much is required. Yeah, so we don't want too much gray also, especially for the center section, because we want the white to show more. So just keep the shades to minimum, don't blend too much. You may need to use the tip of your tortillon at times so that you don't blend too much. Yeah, so keep this ring intact. Then coming to cubine, again the same principle. We do want the whites to be prominent here, so just whatever minimum is required, we'll blend only that much. This section we will blend because it's going under, so it would be dark. Again, minimum. For the other sections, we have not added here. Yeah, again minimum for the other sections, just a touch. Again this is going under, so here you may want to highlight. Right, so we don't want to overdo shading the cubine. Right, I think that much is enough. So wherever lines are going under, you might want to highlight, for example here. So we'll make it a little dark there, right? Now blending the next. So here the sections are little smaller, so don't blend too much. Keep it restricted to the edges, and we will, as we have done in the two sessions also, redo it with our gray. Right, so just blend. Make sure your ink has dried up. Yeah, just a touch. Going on to the next section. I think we are done. Yeah, and just the same way blend the last section also. Yeah, I've done the blending. I'm now going to pick up my gray brush pen and do the same exercise. Carefully just add a border to re-emphasize the graphite. Yeah, you can also do it here where it is going under. Yeah, yeah, a little touch here. And then the next. And on the other side. Yeah, and the last one. So keep it thin because we have to give a highlight also, remember? So don't make it completely gray. We are almost done. Yeah. Right, so once we are done with this exercise, now is the time for gold and probably some embellishment if you want to, right? So first let us add gold. Carefully take your time. And color this section gold with your gold jelly roll. Yeah, so almost finishing with my gold, adding to the last section, the outer aura. Carefully fill in gold to these auras or pipes that you created. Right, so now it is up to us. If you want little more embellishment, then what we can do is pick up our jelly roll and add some dots here and there. Just for example, I can always add my dots like this, right? Small little dots, if you can see. Yeah, small embellishment because the color is not white, so jelly rolls look beautiful, right? So I'm just placing some dots at these turning points or corners to add a little zen factor. Dots come pretty handy as far as embellishment is concerned. So take your time and just small little things that can add to the look of your tile. Right, so I added those small dots on my flukes and a small touch here. Probably I'll use my pen to put a small prominent dot here. Yeah, you can see the white looks so nice. So this is just dot work, not adding anything else except dot. Yeah, that's about it. Give it 2 minutes to dry up and we will finish it with our chalk, right? So chalk here. and then chalk here, then chalk here, and finally chalk here. Sometimes it is also a good idea to use your jelly roll if your chalk pencil is not working on the color. You can also do this thin line with your jelly roll. However, chalk looks more natural. Jelly roll looks more done up. Yeah, so I'll just soften it. Blend it so that it doesn't look patchy. Yeah, and we are done, right? So this is our piece for today, our Zen button. Small little places which you would like to highlight since lines are going under. Yeah, that's about it. So let us close our button here. So I'm just going to add my chop, right? Sign and date it. Right, so we are already down 3 buttons, right? Hope you're enjoying the series. I'll see you again with another new Zen button idea. Till then, have a good time, stay safe, bye bye.